If you're an average player, you want to be left alone, all right, because you want to be able to slide by. If you're a good player, you want to be coached. If you're a great player, you want the coach to tell you the truth every day. Did I hustle on that play? Did I make the right read? Did I play the guy with the right leverage? You want to know every play, because you know why? They want to be perfect. Everybody here makes a choice to do one of those three things.
Welcome to the GOAT Consulting Podcast, a podcast dedicated to people striving to be a GOAT, the greatest of all time, serving it up in a way that you can get it in all stages of life. Hey, I'm Colby Jubenville, and welcome to another episode of the GOAT Consulting Podcast right here in VC Productions in studio in Nashville, Tennessee. Tyler is not at the table with us today. He's at the beach. This is part two of our conversation with our good friend Erin Oprea. God, I work hard to say that. Yeah,
it's a hard one.
And we're going to continue to get back into that conversation with her, and really started off by talking about the fact that John just asked her if she would train him, and she said yes, and then she said no. We'll talk about that here in
bring in a therapist.
Well, you just didn't ask the right question.
I'm good at that. I'll figure it out.
And to the left, wearing his favorite workout shirt that he led with the brand of the Ironman to try to get Erin to say yes, because he's so strategically said, "Do you train Ironmen?" You know, setting the stage for greatness there. John Byers. John is all the way from Brentwood. He is the LinkedIn Whisperer. He is the calming force to our show. We're so glad you're with us today, John.
So good.
Sean is over there to the left. You never know what
Sean.
He's going to scream out and say. And then Davey, thank you for taking care of the board. We are the GOAT Consulting Podcast. We're like Waffle House. We serve it up in a way that you can get it.
Place to eat.
I love Waffle House.
Do your clients eat at Waffle House?
Yeah, they drink. I mean, don't those go together?
In our 20s, they teach us to go to. In our 20s, they teach us to go to the Waffle House. In our 30s, we still go to the Waffle House. In our 40s, we don't need to go to the Waffle House. In the 50s, we go back to our Waffle House and drink. So there we go.
The 40s, we just don't admit it.
The 40s, we don't admit it. In our 50s, we say this is what I really want, which is to go to the Waffle House. And we are the GOAT Consulting Podcast. In sports, it's easy to see. It's people like Erin that are recognized for their greatness. What they do elevates the play of those around them. But in business, it's also people like Erin, people that compete on unique perspective, unique education, and unique experience. What they do gives them energy. It gives other people energy, creating new levels of challenge and new levels of opportunity, which is exactly what you do for your clients. And at that point, I'm going to turn it off to you and say thank you, Dev Digital. Thank you for creating Plank. Thank you for creating Pretty Muscles. And thank you for allowing Erin, who has self-admittedly said that she is not into technology, has two different, what did she say?
Two Instagram apps on her phone. It is impossible, and she denies that she's being spied on.
I'm not into technology, and I have an app. I'm not into reading, and I have two books.
But you are into fitness, and you're going from here to look at houses and then train people.
We are going to talk about those two books, by the way, because something that you said about them is really, really cool to me. But before we get there, you're building an empire. And I'm not sure, I wouldn't imagine that you would say it that way.
No.
Because you've got this confident humility about you, which I think is super cool. It's very endearing, which probably allows you to be able to connect with the people that you connect with and do the work that you do in a really meaningful way. Confident humility, super cool. Well done there. Can you catch us up? Like, how did you get into building what you would not say, but I would say is an empire to where it is today? Like, what prompted that? You shared earlier in the episode that you got certified as a trainer at 18, but here you are today with, again, an empire. And tell us more about that, how you got here.
It's all kind of crazy. The question I get all the time, how did you train celebrities? And that's what probably I'm most known for.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't something I said, oh my gosh, I want to train celebrities. All I wanted to do was make enough money to be able to raise my kids.
Yeah.
Like I said, and I will be able to do that.
Yeah.
And it happened. I always say, if you look for that, it will never happen. Like, don't search for money. Search for what really fuels your happiness and your passion, and it will drive you to success. And so for me, it was, I was training, and I said, I will grow this, and I will grow.
Don't chase the thing, chase the journey.
There you go. It's a journey. I can't say, well, do this, and you're going to get celebrities. That's just not how the world works at all.
Yeah.
And it's not one thing fits all. It's and also it shouldn't just be about training celebrities. It should be about doing what you love.
Yeah.
It should be about doing what you love. And if celebrities end up in your world, then that's great. And if they don't, it's still great.
Yeah.
Like, they're great people, but they're people. We're all people. And
How does that go, by the way? Like when you're training a celebrity and they're like, hey, my friend, let's just use the name Mike Tyson. My friend Mike really wants to meet you, and he sees my legs and how nice they are.
He's making a comeback.
He's making a comeback. So, like, how does that connection get made?
It's usually through text. It's like, hey, I'm going to introduce you to so-and-so. Everything I've ever done is word of mouth. I've never advertised. There was no social media. It was 100% one talking to the next.
Who was your first celebrity?
So my first was Leanne. Actually, at this point, she was not a celebrity. Do you know Aubrey Sellers? Who is Leanne? Do you know Leanne Womack?
Yeah.
Aubrey Sellers was still in high school.
Oh, wow.
Which her mom is Leanne Womack.
Got it.
So I trained her, then I trained her mom, and then it went to Frank Liddell, who is Leanne's husband, also a big producer in town.
Okay, so that was easy because they're all in the same house.
So it went from one
point,
to the
right?
other, and then it just kind of spread. And then the one that I was most known for was Carrie Underwood. And that one, they called me for an interview, and this is really a funny story. They called me for an interview, and I was like, this sounds so shady. They're like, hey, can you come to this condo complex? And I'm like, it's kind of weird. And I was like, yeah, I'll be there.
Did you know who it was for at the time?
No,
okay.
I had no idea. It was just for a client. That's all I knew.
Okay.
It's just for a client. And I was like, yeah, I'll be there. And then I got a phone. I was like, that's dumb. Why would I do that? And if it wasn't for my husband, Sean, I would have never gone. Because he's like, you're fine. You can protect yourself. Just go.
You can protect Sean.
Did
too,
you have
I
your
think.
knee brace on? I mean, were you?
No, I was actually healthy at that point.
Okay.
No injuries. And so I went to the interview. It was great. Still didn't know who it was for.
Yeah.
I did the whole interview. I guess they interviewed a bunch of trainers. And then...
So they interviewed you without even talking to the client. You were just getting interviewed by other people.
Managers.
Mm-hmm. The managers were interviewing you. Mm-hmm. Do you remember a question that they asked you that
I
you
couldn't
said,
tell you
sell us this pen?
No, I couldn't tell you a single question.
Make me do a bench press. I mean,
I don't...
Why did they choose you?
That's a great question. I never...
You haven't asked them?
Nope.
Oh, can you go ask them and report back, please?
Yeah, I'll call you tomorrow.
But your relationship with her is past the managers.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a personal...
I went to her wedding. And,
You built a personal relationship with her.
We trained together for 11 years. We don't currently train together, but I did train her for 11 years. So I went to that interview. They still didn't tell me, and then they called me back for a second interview. And I went to that one. I think they told me at that one, and then I met her on the third interview. And so it just progressed. It's all been word of mouth. And even when I trained her, nobody knew for a long time. It was very quiet. There was no social media. It was just starting, but I had no interest.
So I don't want to presume or make up a story about you, but the little that I know and with your background, on that third interview, when you're in there and it's you and Carrie, when do you start becoming the interviewer? Because I imagine you asked some really good questions early on. Did that happen?
I wish I could remember.
Or does it happen with clients?
It was just natural conversation. It was just a conversation.
But what do you ask?
It was just getting to know each other and making sure I'm not shady before I go to because I go to all their houses. I go house to house. And so just making sure that I am who I say I am. And
Is any part of you intimidated?
No.
Yeah, but what do you ask the clients? There's got to be...
I mean, these people are stars.
That has no intimidation to me whatsoever.
It doesn't.
No. They're great people. They're people. And I'm a people person. I can talk to a wall. I can talk to anybody. There's no intimidation for me.
I really want to get this question, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
What are you asking them in that first... Okay, we're going to talk about training. I'm guessing you asked some version of...
I asked
what do you want to achieve?
In the beginning is injuries.
Okay.
Goals. What is your goal? What do you hate? What do you love? And then I start piecing things together and make up the workouts cater to them and what will make them happy and help them reach the goal that they want. And everybody is different.
Yeah.
Everybody's different. It's a really fun job. I've been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
Is your goal to build a personal relationship with each one of them?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like a trainer has to know them in and out, and you have to be able to read them.
Do they call you and
Yes,
you
I hear
become
everything.
more of a therapist for them?
I hear everything.
Do you hear a therapist when you're training? I mean,
yes.
is that, yeah.
I know everything and say nothing. So I'm like,
of
you'll
course.
never get anything out of me.
Yeah.
Have you ever fired a client?
Yes.
Tell us about that. And
You don't
not
have to say
the
who.
client, but
It was.
I like how she kind of checks with Sean.
Oh my gosh. But this one,
This is the same guy that screamed, to start us off. He really took
Penis?
it.
I love it.
So when I'm shooting Instagram stories,
Okay.
like him and my kids, that's what they do. They yell penis
There you go.
just to see if they can make mom really mad.
Just to see if you can stay focused.
We have that in the outtake.
But what were we just talking about?
You were about to tell us who you fired.
Oh, I'm not saying who.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'd get there and it would be like, I'm not training today, go walk my dogs. I'm not training today, go wash my car. I'm not training today, go do
No.
X, Y, Z. And then she'd blame me for being overweight, and I'm like, hey,
So they
She'd
fired
blame you
themselves.
for her being overweight
yeah. And I
because
was
you
like-
weren't walking the dog fast enough.
So I just had my fill, honestly. That
Wow.
was the end of
And
that for me.
John asked before the start of this episode, that if you had a space to train him, and you said that you don't. Are you full all the time?
Yeah, I'm not taking any clients right now.
Do people
But
call
all,
you?
yeah. I
Maybe,
get-
maybe
we
one
get-
more. Maybe one
Do
more.
people call you all the time and ask? This is the
Yes.
kind of stuff
we
that
do.
he does.
I do get contacted a lot about
You're not
training.
gonna. He's not going to stop until you say yes. So just be ready.
And I wish if there's more hours in the day, I would take more clients. But I say, look,
I can
do
partner
it.
up with somebody. I'm
But
sure you have a
guess-
client that would like to cut their bill, in a third, and then I'll pay. I'm sure we can do it together.
And who do you
If
think
bring
that
in
might
a
be?
hotter woman, then I'll allow it.
You know what? I actually have an online program I'm getting ready to launch. That's more of a personal online training that I'll have a group of trainers
John
work
is
with.
high maintenance.
and
He
that's
needs-
called.
It's going to fall under the Pretty Muscles app, but it's going to be Pretty Muscle custom training.
Okay.
But it'll be online. So that's
When,
gonna be
when do
launching-
you set? Oh, I'm sorry. You're going there.
When do I think? I think it's going to launch in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
That's awesome.
Has the app worked the way you wanted it to?
The app has worked 5 million times more than I ever expected.
And you attribute that to what?
Dev Digital, of course.
I know. Besides that,
I contribute it to having a good team. It started off a little bit rocky, and I have an amazing team, and the app is exactly what I wanted. And I just launched a dance program with a guy named Nate Offer, and he is so amazing. He has great energy. I feel like the two of us have our energy matches, and the app is just so happy. I feel like it's an amazing app. I mean, it has.
You could resurrect Richard Simmons to come back.
do you want to?
Yes.
She wants to
wanna-
resurrect.
Davey, call our people. Have them reach out.
What is the
to
name of
do
that second one? I know Sweating with the Oldies. What's the second
Party off the pounds.
one? Party off the pounds. We
Richard
got-
Simmons.
And squeeze your butt cheeks.
Yeah. All right. Here, I have a question, and one of the things that I've talked about
Squeeze your butt.
before. One of the things I've talked before about goats. Goats use a different language, and one of the things that I've kind of pieced together in learning about you is 2 specific moments that, and I'm sure you use this all the time, different language that you use. So this is you could almost pass over it, but there was one video where someone says, we're here today with Erin in her home gym, and you said, do you remember what you said?
Nope.
This is my shape studio.
Oh, it's my Pretty Muscle studio.
You don't even know that you use a different language than most people. I don't think. Maybe you do.
No, I mean,
Maybe you're
I
more
stay in my own world.
Maybe you're more intentional. But Shape Studio is very different. So I want to talk about that. And you also did it later on, because when somebody, I think you were talking about the books that you've written, 4x4 Diet and Power Plate Diet. You said something about, if I could do it over again, I wouldn't put diet in there.
I wouldn't.
Because
I try to fight that not to be there.
Because it seems like you use diet as a noun and not a verb.
I feel like diet is kind of looked upon as a negative thing.
Yes.
And I'm not a diet person.
Why
I'm
is Sean
all-
laughing?
Totally
over there?
agree.
Because you said a noun and a verb, and she's got no idea.
I told you I don't read.
What? To me, I'm sure there's
Get your M16 out and teach it a lesson.
Need a rubber band
I'll
gun
show.
to
I'll
shoot
show
it
you
now.
a verb.
Yeah, right. So, but I think you're about to talk about it. Diet is something is more of a lifestyle as opposed to I need to go on a diet, right? Like,
Right. I want people to learn to live a healthy, balanced lifestyle, enjoy everything they've always loved, but to learn to eat it in the correct portions, in the correct times, in moderation, and not go on a diet and say, I am all XYZ, so I can't have this.
Right.
I can't. When you tell someone you can't have something, what do you always think about?
The thing you can't
The
pressing
thing
the
you
red
can't
button.
have. And then you know what you do is you overeat all the way around that one
Yeah.
thing instead of just having a little bit of that one thing so you can get it off your mind and keep moving forward.
So 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago, I was getting close to doing an Ironman, and I decided that I was going to go plant-based. because I read, researched, watched, Game Changer, blah, 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 right? And so what I said was, and I was very specific, and I think it comes some version of what you just shared, I'm going to be 90% plant-based because I don't ever want to be out at dinner or at a client meeting or at a donut shop with Erin and Sean and be like, yeah, I just, where's the plant-based donut? Like, I'm not going to ask that, right? Like, I want to give that 10% grace to myself because I think that helps me be sustainable. That's my thing.
So are you still plant-based?
Yeah.
90%.
90%. Yeah.
We'll be somewhere and he'll order the French fries.
That's still plants.
Non-negotiable. French fries, cinnamon rolls, non-negotiable. Will always
that's
be
still
there.
plant-based.
Yeah.
Well,
I never
if
thought
you're
of
going
that.
vegan, you might have.
I stay away from that word. I think it has negative connotation. Like
I think
diet.
it's all about balance. I think
Yeah.
you shouldn't have all meat. You shouldn't have all vegetables. I think you should just collaborate it and eat a healthy, balanced lifestyle and love life. Your whole world should not be consumed about what you are going to eat.
I love to work hard, but life just isn't life without donuts. Erin Oprea.
Did he say it right?
Donuts and tequila.
I don't think.
Not
That's
mixed.
even better. I might say bourbon. Donuts
Sean
and
would
bourbon.
say bourbon. I would say tequila. I love straight tequila that sounds to sound like an alcoholic. Give me all the straight tequila. I'm not drinking shots.
Here, Sean.
Wait.
We have some of this.
Wait, which one's that?
Eagle Rare.
I feel
Thanks.
like I've heard you talk about that one.
Thanks to my good friend Colby. Pick that up.
I did pick it up for you.
Takes good care of me.
But you're not drinking. That's just to look at the bottle, right?
I know what he likes.
Unfortunately, I own way more
John,
than I could
John
ever
will
drink.
call me and he's like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I'm in Murfreesboro." Hey, can you go by 1647 Old Fort Parkway? And I'm like,
Sean
"Why?
knows.
Why?"
Is that a
He goes,
liquor store?
They just had a release, and you need to get over there in 10 minutes to get the Eagle
First
Rare.
time anybody's ever asked me to do that, I'm like, "What are you doing?" So that's kind of. I'm on standby to help him with that. And
All right,
Teamwork.
I've got two more questions for you, and we'll see where these go. But out of all the people, the work that you've done, training, working with folks, what have you learned about people?
People are people. Everybody.
Say more about that.
So people put other people on pedestals, and they think that, they just idolize them. And I feel like people are people, and all people have the same tendencies for the most part. Most people are not always motivated. If they're always motivated, they probably don't have a trainer.
that's true.
Oh, whoa.
I agree with
Hold
that.
on a second.
people-
Can you say that again?
I agree.
'Cause
Most people are not always motivated, because if they were, they
I
would
do.
not have a trainer.
I have a trainer, Jordan Williams,
Are you always motivated?
545. No, I need
There
him.
you go. You got someone there to.
Yeah.
They're there.
In the
Not
big-
only are they. A lot of times, clients know what. Especially when I've trained them for 10 years.
Yeah.
They know what to do. They just won't do it.
Well, I only pay him. I can do all the stuff that I do. It's so much harder than working out. But I pay him to make me work out. Now, he does it, that's why I ask about the therapy stuff and building the personal relationship, because he does that and it's more meaningful to me and it allows it to happen so much faster. But in the beginning, I was like, you're just going to have to call me to get me up, because I wouldn't get up to come and go there. But now there's no question. I am there at 5:45 every morning.
It is like a therapy session.
It
But
is.
fitness in general, for me,
Is
working out
therapy.
is therapy. Like
100%.
jump rope is meditation for me. I'll jump rope for an hour. That's where I get most creative, and I do a lot of meetings on jump rope. That's where I figure out a lot in my head. That's where I start thinking about what do I want to do next, and I start building business. Everything's done through jump rope for me.
Recently, I had a long run that I was training for. I think I had this long run, this hot, miserable morning, and afterwards I shower. I get Max. We're driving in the car. Max is my 12-year-old that will go on the storm chasing trip here in almost a year. And he said, "Dad, how long did you run this morning?" He asked great questions, like he cares about me. And he says, I said, "Well, I ran."
This is the same kid that said to you, "You're on the Joe Biden plan."
Yeah, that's for another story. He said, I said, "I ran 9 miles." He was like, "Oh, why would you do that?" I said, "Well, just because it's like my therapy. Like when I work out, like I yell less and I get less worked up." He said, "Dad, you should have run longer today." Out of the mouth
Kids are
of
the
babes.
best. Kids are the best. They're
Out
going
of
to
the
give you the
mouth of
truth.
babes.
What's next
9
for you?
miles wasn't enough.
Have you asked your questions, or is there more?
unless you want to, I mean, home gym, shape studio. I
Oh,
thought that's
my
really
studio
fascinating.
is my favorite spot. It is my happy place. So what I think, when you think gym, sometimes you think very hardcore. I think studio, I think very vibey. Like, hey, you can go in there, you can chill, you can walk, you can enjoy my plants. I have 5 million plants, and plants bring me so much joy.
in your shape studio.
Yeah, I have tons of plants. Like,
That's
Yeah.
cool.
all the equipment and lots of plants, and it's just a really happy
Is that
space.
where we'll train when like I'll come to you or?
Nope.
Okay, that's a sacred place. Got
No,
it.
clients do come there sometimes. Yeah, I do train out there too, but mostly I go to people's houses.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's my happy place. You go out, you open the back, and it has a greenhouse, and also has a bunch of wildflowers, and it's just really chill. It's really cool.
What's the first 90 minutes of your day look like?
So I get up in the morning. I eat oatmeal, egg whites. I feed dogs. We have lots of dogs. We play ball. I water plants, and then I'm off to work.
They say that we have 50,000 thoughts that go through our head, and 40,000 are negative and 10,000 are positive. Do you have thoughts that go through your head that are positive or negative? And how do you, as you train yourself and others, how do you handle those thoughts?
So right now I have some really good positive thoughts. You know what it is I was able to run again. So I've had lots of knee surgeries, and I've been told I've never been able to run. And I decided, because Sean and Hunter, my older son, were doing a half marathon, and Hunter had said, I'm going to run a half. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. I was like, I can't go. And then I said, I can't do something. And it sunk in. I was like, the hell with that. I can do it.
Yeah.
And so I ran 6 of the day, and I ran. So, yeah. And so every time I run, I'm like, oh, my God, I'm running. Like, I can do it. And so, like, I've been so proud of myself. Like, every time I run,
for
even
you.
if it's 3 miles, I'm like, I did it. We were running yesterday outside, Sean and I was like, I'm so proud of myself.
That's
how many
great.
people really say, I'm so proud of myself? Nobody.
Yeah.
All we do is say,
I mean, that's one
oh
of
my
Richard's
God.
3 things.
This is the next thing I have to do, or I can't believe I have to do this, or
I mean, I have that too, but
Yeah.
sometimes you just got to sit and celebrate the little victories, because there's a lot of shitstorm in life. I mean,
Sure.
life isn't easy. If it was easy, it'd be boring, right?
Well, you bring a lot of energy. I've been on stage with you, and I know John's jealous about
Yeah.
that. But you, Sean, you did see me on stage with her. I know both of y'all didn't think
What's
I
that?
was.
You told me you guys do it every weekend.
We are. We in
I wish
Nashville.
I got to do
You're
those
on a-
events
you're on a
every
tour.
weekend.
But you bring so much energy. Now here's the coolest thing for me when I did get called up on the stage and did that is I was able to see it from your perspective.
It's so fun.
It's so cool to see your energy, your brand of energy, and to do that from that perspective. And then you have those folks around you that, John, you're close friends with one of the people that are on stage.
James?
James Crumlin.
Yeah.
That's what if you're training for Ironman, he's your man.
Yeah, he's done 8 or 9 maybe now.
I love that guy so much.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite people.
Yeah, we've run into each other at a couple events.
Did you ever think while you were hiking in, is it Hawaii and that you were growing up in San Diego?
Or that
and
when I was in Iraq, I'd be coming back and doing workout events. And guess
do
what?
you ever stop and say to yourself,
Holy shit, how did my life end up here?
Yeah, did this choose me or did I choose it? Do you have that
Man,
moment?
No, I don't have that moment, but I sit there and I think, is this really my life? I feel like I've lived 2 completely separate lives. But guess what? My 2 lives are about to collide, because guess what I'm about to do?
Well,
You heard it here first.
USO.
USO.
USO
Are you really?
events, yeah. I had my first one in Fort Campbell. They're just now putting USO back in person and not virtual.
So
and so I have
great.
my first one in September, and then hopefully we'll be doing an overseas USO tour.
Very cool. I have a question, and this is going to kind of lead into and a little bit of a tongue in cheek, but we have this segment where we honor our guests. We call it the things we think and do not say. We didn't talk about this, but I'm going to throw it out there. And it comes from the movie Jerry Maguire, by the way.
Never heard of it.
We
Wait,
got
that's the name of the movie?
cut the episode right now. I mean, this is
Is that the name of a movie?
Sean.
I told you I don't watch movies.
Dude, take her home tonight and watch that.
Wait, is that an actor or the name of the movie?
It's both.
I can't even.
Both.
I can't even.
Okay, well, what did Jerry Maguire
One
say?
of the Sean, you gotta do it tonight. Jerry Maguire, one of the greatest movies of all time, played by Tom Cruise, and he in the very beginning of the movie writes a mission statement. It's not a memo, and that mission statement is called "The Things We Think and Do Not Say." So we've had some great conversations on here, a little bit tongue in cheek here. I'm gonna ask you. It has become. Maybe it's not. Let me just ask. What is the last binge that Erin Oprea has had? Netflix, food. Like I want to know. I want to know the moment
Okay.
that you watched 14 episodes of
Never.
Stranger Things and you ate an entire thing of Bluebell ice cream.
Never. Like, that sounds so boring. Like, you couldn't pay me to sit there and watch. And my longest time I've ever been down is after a surgery, when I have to lay down after a knee surgery.
Where'd you get your surgery, by the way?
Elite did mine.
Oh yeah. Okay.
He's done my last 2. I had a broken kneecap, and
Oh my gosh.
I've had 3 ACLs, broken kneecaps, and
My wife just
meniscus
had
and
ACL, MCL,
yeah, all that fun
meniscus,
stuff.
all
Yep,
were done.
I had that ACL twice last year on my left knee and a broken kneecap.
In the same year?
in 8 weeks apart.
Oh my gosh.
And then they put screws in my knee that broke my kneecap too.
Jeez.
So
All
yeah,
right.
so it's not fun. That's the only time I've really ever stayed down. Oh, when I had my boobs done too, I had to stay down. But
Same here.
But I didn't have implants, so I just had them lifted. I just like, please stop looking at all the quarters on the ground. My headlights on bright, looking down. I was like, can we pull these babies back up? So now they look forward again. It's really cool.
There is the things we think and do not say.
There it is. There it is. What's next for you? Where do you see it going from here?
Oh man, I feel like my next thing is either a donut store, which we've talked about a lot. But I feel like fitness-wise, all the things I said, like bucket lists, I've crossed them all off. And so I'm like, what's next in my career? I want to do a ton of events. I travel around the U.S. and do them, U.S., Canada. I've done lots of workout events, and I want to keep doing, like the workout party you went to, that one happened to with Titans. I've done them with all different companies and different, I love those. So
Was that your brainchild to marry those things together, a fan base with a chance to work out, with a chance to socialize?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
That's super
I
cool.
I get so much out of those. So I really want to do some really big events across the U.S., Canada, wherever it might take me. USO.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I just love doing them. And then I want to open a donut store. I also want to open this dog park, but not just like a dog haven, like in Nashville, where it has the most badass turf dog park
We
with
know a
strung
guy.
lines.
We know a guy.
Yeah.
Are you being serious?
Yeah.
Right here. Goat turf.
Yeah.
We know a guy.
At least for your turf.
He's done a lot of turf for your clients, by the way.
My house is turf too.
Do you love it?
Yes.
Yeah, turf is cool.
So
Tyler's
I
gonna
want
be
to
so
do
mad he
like
wasn't here.
strung
He is gonna be
lights. I
upset.
want to have an Airstream. I want to have a vet. I want to have a daycare. I want to have training. I want to have groomers. I want like dog haven. You got a bakery for dogs. Everything you could possibly want in this one area. And I'm looking for sponsors. And as soon as I find sponsors, I want to. You want to do it?
Yeah. I'm in.
Like dogs are my favorite thing in the world.
How many dogs? You said you had a lot.
Well, we have.
I tell people I have a lot of kids, so
we-
I'm wondering what
Oh,
this.
thank God I retired the kids.
They're out.
I'm kiddo done.
Yeah.
My mine are grown and moved out. I have a German Shepherd. I have a German Shepherd Husky mix. I have a Greater Swiss Mountain Dog. My son, basically, whose dog is with me 24/7, has a Belgian Malinois puppy, which is like a German Shepherd on steroids. And then
gosh.
my other son, which we watch his dog a lot, is a Great Dane.
There's a lot of dogs.
And then, Great Dane.
You
So
do
that's
spend
5.
the first 90 minutes of your day
They're
taking
pretty,
care
that's
of dogs.
for sure.
They're a lot of work. Tired dogs are good dogs, just like kids. You got to wear them out. So I wear them
All of
out, and
us.
then they sleep. Yeah.
All right, last question before we land the plane here. One of the ways we honor our guests, the last layer on the Erin Oprea onion that we're going to peel back. Do you have your phone on you?
I do.
Can you pull out your phone?
You want the last picture I took?
No.
Nude.
Maybe
You
we'll
want it?
change
No.
it up.
No.
Just kidding.
Dude, it's of Colby. We're going to do your top 5 songs on your playlist. Are you a Spotify
I'm
person?
Spotify,
Are you-
but I don't know how you do that.
Well, go to your favorites list.
There's a favorites?
Yeah.
Where? I'm on Spotify. That's favorites?
Light songs.
I do the same thing.
All right, I'm going to let you read them. It looks like it might resemble mine. Let's just see what happens. Top 5 on there.
Wow, I don't even know these songs.
Well, you must. So is that your phone?
You know what? It's a playlist that Sean uses for events, too.
Well, then you name your top 5. It
Okay,
doesn't
so-
have to be on there then. What's in your head?
Well, let's see what we got here. We got You Can Do It, Ice Cube.
Ice Cube, yes.
Ride With Me, Nelly. That's my next dream workout event partner is Nelly. I want to do one with him. He works with a lot of my clients, too. They have songs together, and so I'm like, that's going to be a workout.
That's cool. We'll tag him.
One day I want to do a workout event with him. Rebel Kicks It, Young Boy.
That's Colby's
Fix it.
favorite.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Well,
Do
Young
you know
Boy.
that song, Sean?
It's very popular with the young people.
Can't Deny It, Fabulous.
I don't know that this counts if it's not your
Walk Away. Paula somebody.
Abdul?
Abdul.
No,
Paula.
Deonda.
Paula
Deanda. And Let's Get Married, Jagged Edge. I do like that one.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Those are songs I put on the list because you asked for them.
I don't know what they are though. I don't know songs by name either. I told you I don't know music either.
She asks for her songs and then forgets them because she's moving so quickly in the world and taking care of people.
Well, I just say, hey, put these songs on there for events.
A space for
awesome.
dogs. A space for dogs. A new donut shop.
G.I. Jane would be so proud.
I feel like I'm like the most opposite of probably people you have on here. They know musics and they know books and they know movies and they know TV shows, and I know nothing in that world.
That's what makes you so great.
And I
That's
don't
part
care.
of that's part of your
Well,
goatness.
That's right. And you could have been an astronaut. You could have been a PE teacher. You could have been a police officer. You were a U.S. Marine.
Hey, wait, I was kind of a police officer too, because I was military police. So, I mean, that kind of puts me in there.
She wasn't in the military police. Now she's just a rebel and listens to Young Boy that has a rebel that kicks it.
Rebel kicks it.
She's my new favorite rebel. Her name is Erin Oprea. We appreciate you so much being in studio
good
with
to
us
have you.
today. For Tyler at the beach and for Erin and for John and Sean and Davey, I'm Colby Jubenville, and this is the Go Consulting Podcast.
Thanks for having me, guys.